Good afternoon. It is Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Harlan Municipal Utilities Board of Trustees to order and start with an approval of the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Shelton, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Terrell, aye.
Hammer, aye.
Seibert, aye.
Item number 3 is the approval of the consent agenda. It includes the minutes of the February 9th board meeting, the abstract of claims number 1230 in the amount of $1,012,178, and the upcoming board meetings, March 9th will be an electronic, and March 23rd will be a regular.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Shelton, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Terrell, aye.
Hammer, aye.
Seibert, aye.
Item number 4 is 4 additional wells acidized and airburst in the amount of $89,860.
Yes, on that, actually, we're looking at 4 wells to be acidized and 4 wells to be airburst for a total of 8 wells. Cost about, we're around 89,000, I think, for those 8 wells. We're looking at about 82,000 of that cost coming from, would be covered from remaining budget funds, 22-23 budget funds from the membrane replacements. Remember, that was cheaper than, so we got some funds left over from that. That additional 8,000 would likely be supplied from, we got a CD that's going to mature here in May. We'd probably use some money out of that CD to kind of help offset that additional, that we need that additional about 8,000 to pay for that project. But this, like I said, we're just trying to be proactive as far as to stay ahead of, or stay out of water conservation this coming spring, summer.
Have we ever gone back and looked to see how much revenue was lost during the water watch periods from the water department?
We
We have some information from numbers, but we don't have the exact figures on, because of the amount of how many millions of gallons that we lost. We don't have that figure.
This will help with our water conservation when we get this over.
It'll help treat the wells that are in the well field, so, in hopes of preventing going into water conservation this summer. Last thing that we want to do is go back into that and actively trying to stay out of it, move forward. These new wells will help, but we still have to maintain all of our old infrastructure out there.
Yeah, we had good luck on the last 4 or 5 that we did
Correct.
here in the fall. We gained quite a bit of gallons per minute.
What kind of percentage capacity can you expect from something like that? 10, 15, 20% additional by doing this?
When we did, last time we gained a little over 300 gallons per minute after we got done with all the treatments.
Per well?
No, not per well, total.
Oh, okay.
The total amount of wells that we did, we would hope to see something similar to that, or if not, a little bit better. Again, as the wells continue to run, they do plug up, they get dirty, their recharge capacity lessens, so we just gotta stay on top of it.
Thank you.
That was 300 gallons per minute?
Yep.
So basically, we really have everything covered in cost.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a lost revenue issue if we don't do it. And it's also us being proactive to try to avoid going back into a water watch that affected the community.
So I would say I would approve. Do we need to do an approval?
Yeah, we need to,
I would approve the 4 additional wells acidized and airburst, amount of $89,860.
And we need to approve that pending legal counsel approval because there's still a couple things in there that legal counsel doesn't like that they want changed.
Okay, pending legal counsel. I'll second that.
roll call.
Shelton, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Terrell, aye.
Hammer, aye.
Seibert, aye.
All right, item 5 is informational items only. Joe, you got these?
Yes. Item A there, you can see is CCI Systems invoice an amount of $3,693.32 for annual support, digital content manager. This is actually annual support for the unit that sits down at our HMU tower that receives our off-air signal and then converts it for our fiber feed to the NOC. And then item B, Innovative Systems invoice in the amount of $5,885 for 1-year annual support for telemarketing screen. This is support for our telemarketing rejection, voicemail boxes, and call termination features in the telecommunications. Northern Municipal Distributors Group, that amount of $1,487.65. That was for that additional, it was based on 30,000 additional amount that was needed to help fight the Northern Natural Gas rate hike. So that was our portion of the payment. But we are being told, nothing's been settled on that yet, so there probably will be additional asking for additional amounts down the road for that fund. And then D is the Southwest Power Pool annual membership invoice, amount of $6,000.
So can we pause a second? So we just went and voted on the well field. What we didn't identify is that we had put it out for competitive bid, and 2 bids came in. Is that correct? Is that what I'm
Correct.
saying here? So we were actually going through our fiscal responsibility of having put it out for bid, recognize that we received 2 viable bids, and we are choosing the lowest bid. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally I put that on the cover sheet, but I didn't realize that there was 2 bids.
Yeah.
So that's why it wasn't listed on there.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were both close there too on that item.
Yeah, surprisingly close, actually. So-
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I think we need to do is we need to recognize or formally select a bid.
Well, in the minutes, I will put that there was 2 bids received and this was the one selected. I just forgot to put both bids on the
Okay.
agenda.
All right.
I didn't see that till today.
All right.
That's all right. Any questions on the information items only? No?
So, CEO's report.
All right. Just a few items. We have offered the fractional part-time position for cashier to a candidate with a start date of March 6th. And also have offered the fractional part-time position for staff accountant to a candidate with the same start date of March 6th. Patriots Choice had started on that trench drain repair out there Tuesday morning. So they're moving along on that. They're working on half of it at a time. They're looking at trying to get that first pour done. I think they were trying to shoot for tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to make that for sure. If it isn't tomorrow, it'll be probably Monday for sure to get that first half done. And then we'll let that sit for probably at least 5 days and then have them switch over to the other half and get that completed. Our 2023-24 budget was delivered to the city for inclusion into their total budget. And maybe Gene can speak a little on this too. City approval will be delayed for a month, correct, Gene? Because of some legislative changes in that budget process. Strictly dealing with, what was?
Due to the governor signed what was called Senate File 181, she signed it Monday evening, and it's to go back and correct a Department of Management error that was identified last October.
On assessments, right?
Correct. So all 99 county auditors essentially they've got 15 days from the order from Monday to go back and redo valuations. And the joy of it, tongue in cheek as I say that, is that at least for our municipal budget, we'll be redoing about 75% of our budget of all the last 9 or 10 weeks of work. So it was, the error was a $127 million error to affect all cities. So And then it extends the budget certification date out till April 30th, so it gives an additional 30 days. But I know we appreciate you getting those numbers.
Right.
They have to be all rolled up into.
Yeah, and it shouldn't affect anything with ours, so just
But having
basically.
that done definitely helps out. It wasn't a great news message that we all received.
So evaluations are gonna go up?
Actually, it's going to result in valuations going down. This ties back to the 2013 property tax reform between multi-residential and residential. And if you go look at the formula, you want to go back to maybe some high school calculus days or college calculus, you can maybe understand it with the Department of Management. But the end result of it is actually valuations will go down. As I reported to the council Tuesday, this is not a hard and fast number, but from our early indications for our local valuations will drop about $3 million. That's an unofficial number.
Okay. Next, as far as an update on our water project, I guess we got word more or less today, right, Donald, that we're hoping to have kind of the final set of plans in our possession probably next week. That's what we're hoping. We'd probably take a week to kind of review and make sure that everything's okay there. And then we would finally get into that process of probably getting those sent out for the bidding process. Lastly, I've got 2 February anniversaries. David Swank, 19 years, and Brian Lasher, 11 years.
Wow.
Kudos to them. That's all I have. Unless you have any questions for me.
Nothing for you? Anything from anyone? Well, we are adjourned.
Wow.